Yeah. Hi everyone, welcome to Marianne's Mystic Mansions. Welcome to your May readings. And let me just say that I am doing about one reading per day, and I'm a little bit behind because even though I'm doing the readings, the uploads are taking quite some time. But I will start by saying welcome all new once again, and certainly returning. Please feel free to like and share these videos if you're resonating and your heart is feeling to do so, if that makes any sense. And yeah, subscribing, it's all free. It's just extremely supportive, and I love and appreciate the fact that you would do that and take that time to do so. So enough of that. I am going to be reading for every single zodiac sign, but today, as I go around my zodiac wheel, I start with Aries and I end with Pisces, and I'm on the beautiful air sign of Gemini, Mercury ruled mutable Gemini, fun, archetype of the twin, duality. Well, we could go on for a long time, and every time I read for you, Gemini, I start to take on your energy, and it's fast and it's quick and it's, it's just, it goes from one topic to the other, though I am capable of that on a regular basis. It gets accentuated, so bear with me. And I love it. It gives me a lot of energy, a lot of fun. Air signs in general are noted by the swords in the tarot, and I also, they're about the mind. They're fully engaged in mental activity and thinking about things and learning and expanding their brain, and wanting to express through all different forms, whether it be written, verbalized, or something. Connection is huge, the commerce aspect of Mercury and getting the wheels turning and such. And here, Gemini, you lucky Gemini, we have Mercury about to go retrograde on the 10th of May, which is next Tuesday. So we're in the shadow period. Oh, are we ever? And I laugh because my verbiage, my speaking is very affected during Mercury retrograde. Most people's are, to a certain extent, I've noticed as I watch my regular tarot readers. I am absolutely no exception to that, and it's just one of these things where the brain doesn't quite connect to the vocal cord type of thing. It's all, I'm knowing what I want to say, but it doesn't always come out that way. So it's a typical kind of a side effect, I guess you could say, from Mercury retrograde. So please bear with me. Now, for those that are new, and I do want to say what my format usually is, this way you can have a chance to fast forward if you choose, or whatever you'd like. But I do read a card for each week of the month, and I choose a different deck every month, and I am on the beautiful Light Seer deck, which is definitely one of my favorites. I think it's a lot of people's favorites. The illustrations, the way it feels, the energy, and the messages come very fluently and very easily with this deck, I've noticed. And I hope you'll find that to be true for yourself while getting the messages. Do watch your sun, moon, ascendant, and even Venus, especially this month, because there's so much Venus activity happening in the skies. And then I go on to pick the spiritual, well, I do it before actually. I have a spiritually connected love connection that Spirit wants me to pick for you, Gemini, and it's done right in front of you. This is another sign, another energy, another element that's going to be crucially important for whatever reason. I can't say. It's a very general reading, and take that as you will. I mean, it could be somebody you obviously know about, you're in very close, connection with now, or have a relationship with already and have for a long time, or it could be somebody coming through. With these retrogrades, that's a very common denominator that you see people, and I actually look forward to that, and that absolutely has already happened for me in a very interesting and synchronistic kind of way. And I like I said, I enjoy it. In fact, I'm enjoying Mercury retrogrades more and more because, what's the saying? If you can't beat it, join it. If you know some of the things happening, you can ease yourself off to, feeling like, oh my gosh, but I wanted to do that and I planned that. Give it up for now. It's only 3 weeks, and then the shadow period's another like 2 weeks. It ends, starts on May 10th, ends on June 3rd. And you know what, Gemini, I'm reading for you today, and you have a lot of interesting things happening this year. Well, we're in Taurus season right now. We had that incredible solar eclipse new moon, the second one at the end of the month of April on the 30th. We're still feeling those effects. And that's about our practical side, or, long-term investments, feeling grounded if possible, which is really good for air because, we're in our mind a lot and thinking in the sky and the looping and such. It's great to bring us down to earth, great to take care of ourselves, to make new regiments about that, and get rid of things and people and circumstances that just aren't doing us any good or for our highest good. And then we have, of course, the Mercury retrograde. But what I was going to say is, it's going to be in your sign. Mercury will be in your sign, I should say, for a long extended stay because of the retrograde. So I believe, don't quote me please, but I believe Mercury ends being in your sign like beginning of July, and we're in May right now. So, that's normal and longer than usual. But then also, this is the other thing, and I'll talk more about it, but because you're my featured sign, I want to, give you a little, not spoiler per se, but highlights of what's coming. And at the end of August, I believe it is it August? I think so. We have another retrograde happening, and that'll be in the sign of Libra. So all of the retrogrades this year, I think with the exception of the last one that starts on the 29th of December and then goes through January, it's Earth sign, are all air. And so air signs in general are going to feel it a little bit more. I am an air sign. I always feel it. It's just I just do. And I'm a Libra, so you're my fellow air sign. So we kind of get it, and we get that same kind of vibe when it's in our sign, which is going to have a lot to do with our thoughts and really being very clear during retrograde, go figure. But really being willing to revisit things and renew things and really give it a second go around, before we make final decisions. Because once June retrograde stops, all systems are go. But then I was going to say at the end of August, I believe it is, Mars will be in your sign, Gemini, and it is going to be in your sign because it goes into retrograde as well, I think for almost 2.5, 3 months. It's going to be in your sign for 7 months. Mars is the planet that is so much, it's a fire sign type of thing. It's the masculine, not all zodiac signs are the fire signs that are ruled by Mars. In fact, historically, Scorpio was ruled by Mars, now more modernly by Pluto. And we have a huge, beautiful full moon eclipse because they always come in pairs. The last was I mentioned the solar in Taurus, and now this beautiful full moon on the 16th in Scorpio, the water, the intensity, the magic, the depth, the secretiveness, the sensuality and sexuality, the 8th house, all sorts of truth gets revealed, and we make decisions for ourselves that we're going to change things once and for all, and we do, and it's the best thing for us kind of energy. But Mars in your sign, you're going to be feeling quite revved up, and except for when it's in retrograde, it will kind of take the wind out of our sails a little bit. But sometimes we really need that, especially if we've been going full tilt or burning the midnight oil, on both ends, which is absolutely possible. Because the other thing is that along with the Mercury retrograde on the 10th, we have the beautiful, benevolent, amazing, masculine, but just generous and expansive and filled with opportunities and serendipitous, situations and all of the above, moving from the sign of Pisces into the sign of Aries. Wow. I mean, you are going to feel, if you're not already feeling it, almost overnight, just this ramped up, fired up. I mean, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's the one, it's the beginning, it's the cardinal energy. And it's about initiating and just leadership. And I wanted to say childlike whimsy. And it then made me realize when I left work today, I had to stop and get a couple things. And you know, you go in for one, you come out with more. And I bought some glittery eyeshadow I'm wearing. Oh my gosh. I've seen it before, but I didn't want to get major color. I wanted the white, which is basically all colors, like the Aurora Borealis. And I don't care what age I am. It just is so important. I feel like I'm picking up on the energy of Aries and this wanting to kind of change some things about me and just kind of just say, yeah, that's right. That's me. I feel like it. I feel great about it. Age is of no consideration whatsoever. Keeping that childlike, you know, enthusiasm is what I'm feeling. And we all get to benefit from that with Aries, no matter where it may happen to fall in your chart. But I'm speaking a lot. I just wanted to share some of the most important things. But I cannot, because I only do one reading during the month now, and it takes a couple weeks to get to that. But I like that for a lot of reasons, and it's been working well. I hope you do as well. Is that we have the new moon at the end of the month on the 30th in your sign, Gemini. So it'll then be your sun sign, your solar return season, you know, birthdays, celebrations, fun. You know, I mean, this Aries energy, Jupiter's there. We've got that intense sensuality and sexuality with love and all different forms of love, self-love, ideas. Just keep revving up. Even during the retrograde, I think it's going to be superseded by this Jupiter energy. It's going to be phenomenal. And so I'm excited for you. So it's a lot. You've got a lot going on. I think you're going to be very much in the spotlight. I think you're going to enjoy it. New ideas, new opportunities, work partnerships are going to come along. You know, there is a huge key component with Aries, Jupiter and Aries as well, because the polar opposite sign across from them, like the oppositions of the eclipses, and we all have a polar opposite sign to us, is that of Libra, and that's all about relationships and balance and fairness and justice and partnerships, you know, and getting along with people more. Things seem to go smoother, which is always a beautiful thing, right? I know I love it when that's happening. So let me have Spirit work through me, as it always does, to pick your highlighted connection, Gemini, for the whole month of May. And like I said, you may already know what this is, or it just might be the energy. You're feeling incredibly strong. I'm excited to see. What do you got for Gemini's? Beautiful, beautiful Spirit. Guidance for beautiful Geminis. And the love connection of the month. Ah, you have Cancer. Well, guess what? We have the moon in Cancer as I'm doing this reading. And Cancer is, oh, that's emotion. That is love. I mean, they are so devoted and so loving and so compassionate, particularly with family, I would say. They tend to represent the home and, you know, being more comfortable being at home and with the familiar surroundings that make them feel secure and stable. And I know that this beautiful, you know, Taurus energy, with being in the season of Taurus, with having the new moon, which the solar eclipses last for months as opposed to just a new moon or a full moon, which can last 2 weeks to a month. But yeah, the message is coming through. Well, for me, it makes me feel like you're very much, and this is so funny because I do have a good friend that's a Gemini, and she just bought a house, and they waited for so long. It's a little bit of a distance. I will not get to see her as much, but that's exactly what this is about, Gemini. It's kind of beautifying your, you know, because both Taurus, once again, the effects that when Jupiter will be in the sign of Aries, across from Libra, also ruled by Venus, there's so much love and so much, you know, emotional satisfaction with those that you care about, that are so incredibly close to you, that matter the most to you. And it's like just building this wonderful home, whatever it may be. I mean, some people aren't buying homes, but they're doing something, and it's going to cater to that, especially in the next couple of days, like I said, because we have the moon in Cancer. So I like that a lot. But also, there's a sentimentality there. There's a desire for, as an air sign, you know, we tend to be in our heads a lot, and we detach our emotions. We certainly have them. But I feel like you're more centered in the heart. I feel like there's a lot more, yeah, emotional kind of vibes. And then, of course, the water aspect of Scorpio is involved there, and that's Cancer is the fellow water sign to that. Psychic abilities coming through for me to talk to you about. Intuition, dreams. You could get some incredibly prophetic dreams. So be aware of that. Take notes if you can, and let me know, because I love hearing about how things are resonating with the readings for you. That's why I do it. You know, I love it. It's just been something that I can't imagine not doing anymore. And you could be, yep, anyway. So that's really wonderful. Let's see if the reading, you know, also is congruent with the Cancer energy. Lastly, you know, if you're not with somebody or a family member or a friend or anybody that it's ringing a bell with this Cancer, like I said, it could just be the energy or something really important during Cancer season, which is right after yours, could you know, could come out of the woodwork, or it's already in the making and it's going to be in full tilt at that point, because that's that straightforward energy, you know, after the end of the retrograde. So, you know, between June 2021 through July 2021. So keep that in mind too. And we'll see about that. But I'm going to pick the first four. Like I said, 4 cards will be the 4 weeks of the month of May. And we're pretty much on the first week. But whenever you watch this is fine, because, you know, there's no linear time when it comes to spirit messages. They're messages for anybody needing to watch them, and they come through exactly as they need to. And if you don't feel the resonance right away, just give it some time, because, you know, it's still early enough in the beginning of the month. And sometimes things will come in and you're like, oh, that's right, I did hear that. So, first week of the month, beautiful Geminis. I still feel really good feelings from this, like I said, the new moon, because any new moon is initiating us to start new and to end other things, you know, close one door, open another, figuratively or otherwise. And I just feel excited and really happy for you. It feels very positive right now. But your first sign, oh, I love it. No, this is cool. It is the devil. Well, you know, the devil, I mean, people think, I love this depiction though. He's kind of cute, right? It's pretty hot. And basically just saying, holding out a hand like, come with me. And luring you, if I may say, because that's what the devil will do. The temptations can be very strong, and I don't know in what particular area for you, but it's reminding about that. It could be about your finances, maybe overspending and, you know, thinking, oh, should I, can't, you know, the angel on one shoulder, the devil on the other. It's also Capricorn, so that's the earth energy. And, you know, I mean, you might be involved with the Capricorn. It's not unheard of. Geminis are with Capricorns. Once again, there's that grounded, earthy, you know, desire to be successful and to work hard and to, you know, create wealth and the comforts on a long-term basis. You might be around, you know, somebody that's a Capricorn exhibits those kind of energies, or you have Capricorn in your chart. But remind yourself always that, you know, you want to do, whenever possible, the most important and best things for you, for the highest income. That's a Freudian slip, but not really, because yeah, it could be a very prosperous month in a lot of ways. And of course, money comes into the picture. You know, the 8th house representing the Scorpio and the energy of the full moon lunar eclipse. That's the 8th house of other people's money, partners, inheritance, taxes, you know, lottery, things of that nature. You don't know, and I feel like you're going to hit some really great things as we are approaching your sun season. So I don't know, it's just being aware of the things you know you're doing that are not the best thing for you, and doing your best to remedy that, you know, remedy it, and talking to the right people, asking the right questions, and feeling great about having done that, because in the end it is for you and it's for your benefit. And yeah, just the maybe more worries or concerns than necessary first coming into the month that can very well diminish quickly with all the other beautiful, incredible aspects coming through. Yeah, just there to guide us always. You know, you have free will. and you might be very, very attracted to a Capricorn. But the second week is the Scorpio moon. So that's the 16th, and you have the Four of Pentacles. Oh, well, there's two pentacles because, you know, the Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgos are the earth sign, and they represent the coins of the pentacles. And this is, I love this deck. It's so different than the Rider-Waite-Smith that I started with and I used quite a bit. Well, I use it every day to do readings for myself, but look at this. This woman, it doesn't have to be a woman, of course. The idea is this person is holding very tight to their chest the money they have at this time. And I think it's a good idea while we kind of wait out this retrograde. Like, you don't necessarily want to invest or make a huge contractual agreement where you have to spend a certain amount of money, even if, like, especially for God's sakes, a car, anything electrical or technical, you know, when it tends to break down during a retrograde. And I forgot to mention, transportation is definitely affected. Not always. It has happened to me, and of course other times not. Maybe you're going a different way to work because of detours I mentioned in other readings. That happens a lot. People are doing a lot more road work, it seems, during Mercury retrogrades. But what I wanted to say is it could also be planning vacations and that sort of thing. Mercury retrograde has things tend to break down, but you don't want to buy them during the retrograde. So if you can hold off, please do. And being just a little bit more aware of your spending and what you're investing in, maybe not letting certain people borrow too much just yet. Because the flow is coming. And then you can do what you like. And I know you're a very generous person. I know that about Gemini. So, you know, go with your gut, as you always hear, and listen to your intuition to know. And everything works out as it should, but just something to kind of keep in mind. And it's funny because there is a very strong emphasis of money with this Scorpio, and digging deep and making sure that you are being really truthful with yourself on what you should be spending, what you shouldn't, and not even necessarily money sometimes, value in general. What is your value? And are you receiving what you're worth? That's a huge thing. And Pluto especially being the ruling planet more modernly, like I said, with Scorpio. So yeah, just maybe being a little more conservative than usual. That's how I'm feeling about that. Nothing serious, just a smart thing to do. And then when your birthday comes, you can just party hardy and just have a great time. And, you know, hopefully people will be treating you, right? Third week of May. We have, the Tower. You got some major changes happening, as I mentioned. Now, the Tower, people think, oh no, the Tower. Love the Tower, okay? The Tower is there to completely take away things that have absolutely not been working from the ground up. Our foundation has to be firm in order for anything to be stable and to last. And it could be a building, figuratively or otherwise. It could not necessarily be with you personally, but, you know, globally, I mean, I'm hearing that with a lot of the emphasis on the Taurus energy, which is ground and earth, yes, it has been known that times you hear more about natural disasters, okay? And that's a possibility. I could give you a few examples I always like to give. But what I really like to think of it as this eclipse, and these eclipses come in, they give us these epiphanies and these, you know, new opportunities that come out of nowhere sometimes, just like boom, and your entire life has changed, your trajectory is in a completely opposite direction, and it's actually better than the original plan or thought. So it could be epiphanies, it could be incredible insights. It's there's intensity here, I will tell you that. And with the eclipses, you're going to feel that anyway. It's just kind of a natural thing if you were to sit and do meditation, which I hope you do, especially as an air sign, and the thought thing and the loops that can kind of overwhelm and overtake us. We want to sit and ground ourselves, and even if it's 5 minutes, take the deep breaths, just kind of remove yourself from the outer, you know, destruction or disruptions. There's the verbiage again, like I said. It could be destruction too, but you know what I mean. And just let yourself breathe and just be present. And it just instantly changes your energy. It changes a lot, and it's free, and it's a beautiful gift that we have. But yeah, so I don't, oh, and there's these butterflies for transformation, of course, you know, there's that Scorpio. So this is a, just after, and you know, still feeling it, because this eclipses will last, like I said, for months. Something very important, truth-wise, prevalent will come through. You may already know about it. You don't have to be frightened or, you know, alarmed or anything like that. It's just the full moons will bring light to certain circumstances, and if it's a little bit wonky, it'll, you know, end it and let you start fresh somewhere, or, you know, the culmination was what was already planned, and it's a breath of fresh air, and you're feeling extremely relieved, is what I'm feeling. And so that's good. Those are all really beautiful things. Let's see what the fourth week is, when it's your, well, what is it, Memorial Weekend, and then your new moon, and during your birthday time, you know, in honor of my beautiful sister, whose birthday was on the 30th of May, and I lost her 2.5 years ago now. So always here, though, always in my thoughts. Beautiful, beautiful Gemini. So something new, something exciting, something you can, I would ask that you write down your deepest intentions, and something you've always wanted to do, perhaps, or maybe just renew again, like, you know, because of the emphasis and the energies that you were thinking about during the retrograde, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to do that now. And you have the Five of Cups. Man, this is interesting. This is really interesting, and I feel like it happens a lot in some ways, because I feel like you're going to change a different age not too long from now. Anytime there's a solar return, I know for myself, you know, that would mean that you're, you know, a lot of the Taurus energy is in your 12th house, which is the energy of the escapism that we do, the psychological, you know, places we go that are kind of just like they confine us in some ways, because we allow that to happen. It's always a mind, it's always our ability to change that. But, and it references, you know, just the subconscious, yeah, and just really going deep and kind of inward and internal. I think of the Hermit. But the Five of Cups is, yeah, just, you've got beautiful things coming, and it's always important to focus on that. In other decks, you see 3 cups that have fallen in front of the person, and 2 that are standing, because there's always something to look at that you know is amazing, that the fact that you get up every day, type of amazing, that you have the support and love you need already, and to build upon that is understandable and natural that we want to do that in life. But to truly be present and recognize just how blessed you are. Look at this. I have hiccups. How funny. I don't know why. It's a gorgeous, look, it's like a star. It's a glowing. It's saying, here we are, and this is what you have, and you can build upon it, but always recognize that. So what's really cool, though, is you've got 2 major arcana, which is, it's saying a lot. It's saying these are messages that are very important for you to feel and know. And then you have the Earth, both because the devil represents Earth as the Capricorn, the influence. And we did have Pluto actually retrograde on the 29th of April. So you could still be feeling, and will, because it'll be retrograde through October 8th, I believe. You're going to feel that internalizing. That's what all retrogrades do, of that constant thing of like, okay, this is something I need to change. And it doesn't have to happen overnight, but there's a transformation that's inevitable. And as I mentioned, like with my friend, the move is a huge transformation. So there's a change in her commute to work. There's a change in her, obviously, her home and things they want to do. And it can be incredibly beautiful and exciting and fun. Hold on to that, and don't be afraid, and don't be overly emotional. And just be what you need to be. I don't want to preach in any way, but you've got some powerful, powerful energies. And it's not surprising with what's happening in the sky, but a lot of things. So the 12th house, like I said, and then comes your year, and it's first house, the sun in your sign, and it's everything, you know, it's what you've waited the full year for, and then you've got all the other elements I mentioned. So I hope you can relate to that. I hope you enjoy, you know, the messages coming through. And I'm going to read your beautiful oracle message. I love oracle messages. They're very, very insightful and filled with wisdom, and I think a desire to, you know, uplift us and keep us, you know, in the energy of faith and hope, immersing ourselves in just the beauty of life in general. And this is actually The Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reid. I pull it out of her so often. So for you, your beautiful message, I'm very excited because of this incredible reading so far. The Desert Prince, Survival, False Promises. Oh, but guess what? It's number 19, and 19 becomes 1, and 9 becomes a 10, and that's 1. So there's the new beginning again, and it seems very evident with the Tower and your ideas, what it may be, you know, the transformation of beautiful Scorpio. I'll just set this here. Let me read to you what it says further. Here we have in this picture, though, I hope you can see it, is a man, but it doesn't have to be. And wow, in the background, this huge full moon. Scorpio, that's going to be very, very enlightening for a lot of us. And you've got a lion, and that's all about strength and courage and, you know, just power. You know, the power of a lion, not sometimes even knowing how strong we really are. And then it's brought to our attention like, wow, I did this and that, and I've come here, and I've gone there, and I've gone this far. And remembering that, you know, you've got what it takes. You just really need to believe and hold strong and all the other good stuff that, you know, goes along with it. And there is a reference to Leo, so I don't know what that means for you specifically. But it's good. It can be excellent, in fact. So let me read to you what it says even further for the Desert Prince, because, you know, the Oracle would like you to know those things. So, when you stumble upon the Desert Prince, you receive a gift. The plant life that existed, or that exists in the desert environment, is well defended, tough, and succulent, even though it gets little or no water. Now, I'm from the Northern California area, and we're in a drought, and boy, that's becoming a huge push, is to get more succulents so we don't water a bunch of plants. And I think they're gorgeous. And it's true, there's some beautiful ones, though they can be extremely painful. I mean, you know, with the thorns and stuff. But I'll read on. In spite of external conditions, extraordinary life can form and thrive. Even in the hardest of conditions. I love this. And we've certainly all gone through that. So be tough, have courage. Oh my gosh, there's the lion. Be tough, have courage, and dare to dream no matter what the circumstances. It may seem to be a hard time, but not only will you survive, you will thrive. And in spite of conditions, you'll succeed. Dry spells are also true tests of faith and courage. Accept nothing less than what is in your most precious dreams, and watch miracles manifest. Absolutely. We all have that ability. We all manifest every moment of our lives. Why not be in charge of exactly how you want to do that and make those epiphanies and changes exactly? You create the tower. You don't wait for it to, you know, create you, basically, I suppose. Yeah, I've had towers that came because I was just dragging my feet about things I knew had to change, but, you know, yeah, things are, you know, nothing's perfect. You got to go with the tough times, and I don't know, that's a belief system. I just can tell you that right now. I really believe that now. I'm going to pull in this beautiful message from the Motivation Manifesto deck, because I love the optimism that it has, and it can spur us on to think in those ways. And when you're thinking those things, then you become those things, and the energy goes out and then it comes back in that form. So success and fulfillment in life rest on the unflagging ability to get up, to be ourselves, to chase our dreams with fire each day. There's that fire reference again. To keep willing ourselves to the next level of presence and performance and potential. And there you are, Gemini, with this mutable thing where let's try this and let's do that, and I'm open to that, and I'm you know, accepting of all. There's no boundaries with mutable signs, you know. So there you go. That's what it's about, and to remind ourselves of that, and to say those things, and to believe it, and miraculous things occur. So that's a beautiful motivational thought. And the last thing I'm going to do for you is pull your rune, because I love how that seems to be incredibly synchronistic as well with the readings. It's like I like to say the cherry on the sundae. So I picked the actual rune, which is a beautiful amethyst rune that I love. And then I go to my flashcards because I'm still learning it. But, oh my gosh, what was this? I want to say it started with an M, but I don't really know. I don't know if you can see it's gold lettering, and it's an alphabet, you know, other than ours. So it is that the Greek alphabet? I'm sorry, see what I mean? The brain is like, what the heck? You've been knowing this forever. I've been reading and following other rune readers and such since 97, really. It's pretty fascinating, very profound in a lot of ways, very strong, and once again, there to guide us and help us. So let's see what that particular flashcards that I got to help me memorize, so that I will eventually be able to just read it off and not think twice. And I know what that is, but yeah. Wait, I'm going to double check, because this looks like it could be it, but there is one that's similar. Let me just read quickly, because there aren't that many. I'm pretty sure that's it, yeah. A little deceiving at times, but yep, that's it. Okay, so this particular one is the Ingwas, letter NG or ING. Now you see, it doesn't look to me like that. I don't know what letter it would be in our alphabet. It's an English alphabet, but it's really cool. And I'll explain to you more about it. It is rune number 22, which is a master number. Generally, if you put it together, that would be 4, and that is stability that we spoke about. That's the pentacles, and that's the Taurus energy, and that's the grounding, you know, planting those seeds and waiting and being patient and watching them grow for years to come. Nothing, you know, that would not bring you something for a very, very long time, which is what we really, really want, I think, more than we realize at times. The theme is fertility. Ooh, that could be amazing. Should anybody be interested in children? That might be the epiphany. There might be a reason to feel like, yes, I have a lot and I'm excited, but I want that child now. I want to incorporate that. And that would be a very long-term thing, yes? So not to be, oh, there's more about that. So the pronunciation is Ingus, and it is keywords are potency, masculinity. We already talked about the major masculine as well as feminine. There'll be a decent amount of balancing there. With the Venus, as I said, very, very, one of the most feminine planets, you know, or yeah, goddess of Venus, you know, just very feminine. So that's a good balance for the month of May. Masculinity, life force, father god, climax, procreation. Okay, I mean, you might be already knowing, you might be planning on having a family. I think it's fantastic. And I'm excited for you if that's what's going on. It was the best thing that happened in my life. Magical working, fertility rites, new beginnings, charging with male energy, building creativity. This is crazy because that Jupiter energy in Aries is exactly that. It doesn't matter if we're feminine or masculine, female or male. There's going to be a whole lot of that coming. And it gives us that momentum and that energy, like I said. That's going to be really important. Try not to overdo it, though, if possible. And make very sure that you're caring for your body and the, you know, instead of burning the midnight oil and just like burning out. You don't want to do that if possible. Keep that balance. Key phrase, the seedy, I'm sorry, that was a combination of seed and, no, I'm gonna laugh. Oh, it's hilarious. That was a combination of the seed and ready, the seedy. The seed ready to be planted. In many ways, you know what I'm saying? Masculine creative energy, life bursting forth, impregnation and gestation leading to birth. And of course, it could also be metaphorically, birth of an idea, birth of a gestation of a, a new, business or relationship, or all of those things are all part of that. It could be relative to, let's say, the Empress card in Tarot. Build up and release of positive energy. Climax of one phase before continuing. Physical or symbolic procreation, starting something new. So, as I mentioned a few times, as the cards have spoken to you about, and as the messages are coming through, there'll be a slower period with this retrograde. It's just like that. It's for us to really think and do our due diligence and to really cross our T's and dot our I's and, and relax and just kind of let it ride. And then once it's over, it's on, baby. And it's all about you, Gemini. And it's your, like I said, your season, your new moon, and just beautiful, beautiful, positive energy. So I hope you liked your reading, because I fully enjoyed reading it for you. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. Stop on by if you choose to do so, because I will be here. And have an amazing month, okay? It's meant to be one of the best months of the year. And so, yeah, until next time, take good care. Bye for now.